All right, so we spent the first 20 minutes reviewing Quiz 4. We got that all dialed in. We then just went into some kind of metaphysics and physics for a little bit. That was nice. Just sort of looking at really big picture recycling. We were even talking about black hole recycling. Yes, I did say black hole recycling. And so now what I want to do is I want to look at the project updates. I just had one student call me this morning saying, hey, I've been really busy. I have not had a heck of a lot of time to put into my project. I need to bang something out here at the last minute. Well, if that's the case with you as well, there is plenty of time. I'm going to show you what we're up to. Every year in Missoula, there's this thing called the Made Fair. Made Fair. And we, of the Zero Wasters, found this to probably be a great opportunity to have a demonstration. So if you haven't been, it's a lot of local artisans, local manufacturers, and you just look at their website here. You can see people are making stuff out of old buttons, old spools of thread. Here's some tape, pliers. Relatively low intensity artwork. You'll see people there welding out of scrap material, sewing fabrics together. Or sewing clothing together from used fabrics. What we would love to do, and I have already approached Brad Murphy, who's the director of the Adams Center, and we've also approached the, let's see if we go down here, artists, learn more, Adams Center, 9th annual, contact us. We're also working on contacting the organizer. Ignore this warning, I don't know what that is. This isn't an attack site. Contact us. I thought this was going to take me to the organizer's name. Anyway, we're currently trying to contact the organizer to make sure that she is okay with it. When I first contacted the Adams Center, like I said, Brad Murphy, who directs the Adams Center, was on board. But what I told them we really need to do is we need to have access to all the waste receptacles. Because if there's the lone trash can sitting out there, the soda can's going to go in there, the bubble gum's going to, everything's going to go in there. So if we can have access to all the receptacles, we'll repurpose them. This one's going to become the organics, this is going to become aluminum, this one becomes a plastic. Each, one can basically for each week of topic we've been going over thus far in 270. So if you still struggling for hours, or even not, if you would like to be part of this zero waste demonstration, we will be at the Made Fair on the 15th of December. I know it's not the best timing. It's the Sunday before finals week, but if let me take a look. 13th. Okay, I kept saying the 15th. Let's just double check that here. Go to my calendar. We'll have a race. Which one can get to the calendar first? There we go. Yeah, there we go. The 13th. So Sunday the 13th, Sunday before finals week. Shoot me an email and we'll get you there. I think we're going to need about. I think we're going to need about 8 people to pull it off. I was originally envisioning sort of 4 exits. If you think of sort of exiting a basketball court, north, south, east, west, or the 4 diagonals, that we'd have 8 people 8 tables, and people will just sort of, walk through these tables, and if say you've got your, they said a lot of it's going to be concessions, so, you've got your leftover popcorn here, or your leftover soda. In your popcorn, you've got the popcorn itself is going to go to the compost, the paper is going to go to either paper recycling or a waste to energy, combustion or a pyrolysis process. If it's a plastic cup, the soda and the ice cubes are going to go into the compost. The paper's either going to be recycled or waste to energy, and then that plastic lid, which is usually maybe number 6, will go into a number 6 plastic stream. So that's our plan, and try to make it easy. I mean, it's got to be easy for the average person who came there to buy something for their cousin for Christmas, not to be hassled with garbage policy. But so anyway, it'd be great to see you there. So that's another way to spend your project time, if you like. So let's check the updates. Unread posts. Let's see what Priscilla has been up to. Project, field work, open with, and I'm going to comment on these papers on 2 levels. One's going to be on the content, and the other one I'm going to comment a little bit on the formatting. Okay. Climate action. Now, you guys see that okay here in the live studio audience? Okay. Currently composed of, now, I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit of grading on the fly. This will let everyone in the class see what to expect from me in terms of grading and allow you to fix a few things before you hand it in. So I'm going to save as, documents, courses. We are in NRGY 270, and it is 2015, and I'm going to make a new folder called Project Draft, and I'll make another one called Project Final. One thing I would like you to do is name this by your last name. Just easier for me to, when I'm back looking for your document in my file, it's just easier for me to find it if it's got your name on it. So I'm going to save this as her draft, then I'll also save as the same thing. And this is, I recommend using the same thing when you're sharing drafts with people. Keep the original name, and at the end just say BEL edit, something like that. All right, so the file, when it's then organized back on your computer, they'll be right next to each other. Okay. And I know, Priscilla, English is not your first language, so I'm not going to be too picky on that. I know exactly what you're saying. I'm going to be picky on a few things that are kind of like engineering, technology, technical writing. So use the word for in here. I'm going to put the for back in, and I'm going to turn that red and cross through it because that's what I want you to take out. And I'm going to put green what I want you to put in. 4 permanent members, but there were several more last year. In addition, different campaigns every semester, some climate issue. One of these campaigns is the Take Back the Tap. There's no difference between bottle and tap. Okay, interesting. I don't know exactly what you mean by no difference between bottled and tap water. I mean, unless you mean that bottled water is just bottled tap water, but there's got to be some difference. So careful with that. Careful. Not sure what you mean by no difference. Now, I would assume, I could be wrong, I would assume there's a lot more chlorine in tap water, because chlorine is the primary molecule element for killing pathogens in, well, really sewage. I mean, that's where tap water is coming from. It's coming right back from a wastewater treatment plant. Not always, but frequently. Bottled water, I'm sure some of it also is coming out of water processing, but I think a lot of it is actually being pumped from aquifers, in which case there's not a need for chlorine. There's nothing living way down there in an aquifer. It's all been filtered naturally. So just be careful. There's always some kind of difference. Okay, so as she said, almost half. So there you go. You cleared it up. Almost half comes from municipal water supplies. So you might want to say, and again, this is scientific writing. So I'm going to put read through that. There is frequently little difference. So that's sort of a more, well, you've allowed language to be quantitative. To say no, like actually means no, zero, nothing, identical. Frequently little allows yourself some room for discussion. Because if you say there's no difference, and there is, you're wrong, and you're discredited scientifically. So careful with that. On the other hand, there are differences. Regulated, also cheaper. Decreasing, good. Campaigns, refill our bottles, good. We have a table installed in the UC, figure 1. Okay, nice use of referencing. Now, I noticed that you didn't use the built-in referencing. I'm going to do that really quick. Here, for you. So right here, I'm going to come up to insert. Actually, no, it's in references. I'll put in insert caption, figure 1, okay. Microsoft kind of messes with the fonts, but we can change that back. I'll go back home, I'll make that black, I'll unitalicize it, I'll center it by hitting Control-E, and then I'll also make it larger. I think you were using 12-point font. I do like to have the figure captions italicized, and it's usually nice to put the figure label itself in bold. So I'm going to save that. Now what I can do back up here, Priscilla and everyone else, is come in and go insert, cross-reference, and now I can pick figure and grab label and number, and boom, it's right there. Okay, it looks like I didn't get the font where I wanted it to be, so I'll go back down here, take that guy home. I think this is Times New Roman, save it, page up. This might actually update. Yeah, so I did an update, and now that field itself is tied to the figure caption. So if you get multiple figures, like, oh gosh, I want a new figure 1, you don't have to go back and manually type figure 1. It does it automatically for you. Another thing with this, so don't use bold on that. Another thing I'd really like to see, you can take this whole thing, I'm going to Control X, I'm going to page up, and I'm going to pop it, I'm going to pop it right here. I'm going to put a paragraph return in. I'm going to paste it right here. So now my figure 1 is much closer to where it's referenced. I'm also going to take the entire document, click on paragraph, and turn it into single spacing. Believe it or not, it's just easier for me to read that way. And so now I've got figure 1 right there on the same page where it was referenced. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-8, and when I hit Control-Shift-8, I can see these little backwards P's, these paragraph signs come out, and I can also go under paragraph, because the figure itself is its own line. It's its own paragraph. You can see the paragraph symbol right after it. I'm going to hit a right click, paragraph. This particular, oh no, cancel, 1 second. I'm going to look at wrap text. I can see that this particular figure is in line with text. That's your safest bet. You could go square with it. I'll show you how to do that if you like. Get it over here on the side. Work it into the document a little bit. Get rid of that paragraph return. Another thing I kind of like to see, I'm just going to grab all these guys, go up under paragraph, indents and spacing, no, lines. Go with like a 2 or 3 point before and a 0 point after. And see how that made this guy a lot tidier in there? I've got the, there's not a whole lot of extra space. There's just enough space before the figure. It's still centered. You could make it left. You could make it right. Left kind of looks better there. But now it's a good looking document. It's a nice professional looking document. If you don't like the square, if this starts messing with you, you can just go back to inline, return. It kind of messed with my figure, but I can just take this guy back down here, cut it, enter, paste it, and now it's back there. Center it. Either way, so those are a couple different ways to do your figures. Lost and found. Because I know the figures can be a huge hassle. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you is in paragraph is keep the figure with next. So that way if that figure caption hops onto the next page, the figure comes with it. And then hit OK. And you can even, if you want to get crazy, you can come up here and create a style called figure. And now every single figure paragraph will be a keep with next. And you can even come down here, create a style, and call this figure caption. And every single figure caption will be italicized in the center, and it's kind of handy. Okay. Coca-Cola, petition, 100 signatories. Distribution and water bottles. Okay, well that's a pretty good start. One thing I'm not seeing here, though, is she did not reference figure 2. So all I am, please reference every figure in document. It's just like if you're reading a textbook, every single figure gets referenced at some point. Another thing I'd really like to see here, so Priscilla, please tell me how you were involved directly. The project seems like a good one, but it's not clear how you contributed. So give a so personalize it a little bit. Tell me how you were involved, what you got out of it, and yeah, this will be great. Also, please put in a little table indicating hours spent. And just while we're wrapping up, I'll show you how to do that too. So I can go into insert. Actually, no, it's references. I'm going to insert a caption. No. Insert a caption. You can put a table in. There we go. And I might actually go back to my styles, and I said, hey, I don't like that weird blue small font you put in there. I just automatically made that table be the same style as my figure caption without having to monkey around that much. Summary of hours spent. And then from here, let's go and insert. So here we go, date, hours, description. You don't need that many columns. I'm just going to delete cells, delete entire column. Okay. I can make the description a little wider. And another kind of nice way to tidy these guys up is I'm going to right-click on that, do table properties. If I go to borders and shading, just get rid of these. Get rid of that. Center line. Hit OK, hit OK. You can come back, take this one, go back to table properties, click on borders and shading. Get kind of a fatter line in there, like a 2.5 point. Click that, OK, OK. And I might even be able to grab this whole thing and do a Control Y. Oops, not quite. Hit this guy and do Control Y. So what I did a second ago was make just the top and the bottom thick lines. In Microsoft Word, you probably already know this, but Control Z is an undo, Control Y is a redo. So just whatever the last command was, do it again. And I was able to actually very quickly format that table without having to go back and repeat myself. So whatever, November 5, 3, took data, whatever. November 7, 2, whatever you have to do. So just put something in like this. December 5th, 2, analyze data, etc. So there you go. Do something like that. And you can reference this thing the same way we did before. Insert, cross-reference. Instead of doing figure, now we grab table. We don't want the entire caption. We want label and number. Okay, close. There we go. So that guy's automatic. That one's automatic. And got a sweet report going. So thank you for that, Priscilla. And I hope what I just showed there was kind of enough overview to let you know. All I want to do, the pictures she showed are great. The narrative so far is fine. If you want to put in some theory, I would love to see some numbers. I'm not going to insist on it, but what I've really tried to do with this class is make it quantitative. I would really like you to walk away from this class with some quantitative skills, not just like, oh, we should do this, oh, we should do this, oh, we should do this. Why? Well, money, energy, sustainability, show me the numbers. So that's what I'd love to see too. Throw a couple equations in there. It's pretty simple. In fact, in the last minute here, I'll just show you how to throw an equation in. So insert, here goes an equation. You can just pick any old thing in here, and then go from that. Equals F equals. Or let's put an energy equation. Energy. Oh yeah, we can do F. Yeah, F equals energy divided by displacement. It's going to be centered. Well, it's not going to be centered. Yeah, bear with me for one little more second here. I'm going to make this left justified. I'm going to put in an open paren. Open paren. Now I'm going to insert. It's up under this thing called quick parts. Well, it's a field, and it's actually a sequence. And I'm going to call this sequence EQ for equation. And And now you can see the number 1 just popped right in there. What I'm also going to do on this line is stick in a center tab and a right tab. And now, when I go back in here, do my Control-Shift-8, you can see all these paragraphs in there. I'm going to hit one tab here, gets the equation right in the center. I'm going to go to the end of the line, come back just before the first paren, and hit another one. So now I've got my equation looking very professional. I can get rid of all these extra returns in here. I don't try to stay away from all these extra funny returns in there. This guy, I'm going to go back home and turn that into a figure, and it's now I've got a little extra room there. Now what you can do on this guy, I know I'm moving kind of fast, but that's what YouTube is for. You can go back and rewind it. Is I'm going to insert a bookmark, and I'm just going to call this energy. I'm going to add it, and somewhere I'm sure up here you said the word energy. Well, I'm kind of making this up. I'm going to see, well, down here. You usually do not want to reference an equation before it appears. Usually when it's used, the equation is part of the sentence. So I'm going to reference it down here. Here is an equation reference. Now, if I do insert cross-reference, I put that equation as a bookmark. There's only one. It's called energy. And there it is. And so you can use this same thing over and over again. You can actually recycle your equation. If I do copy and come down here and do paste, and if I right-click on that equation number and update it, it turns into a number 2. And so now I can just keep putting more equations in there and reference them as I go. So, okay, so just to recap what we did, we looked at a preliminary report, just did a little bit of language, grammar, talked about the correctness, being less precise in order to be more accurate with your scientific language. Try to avoid using absolutes unless you're absolutely certain. Showed you how to put a figure in, reference it, format it. Also just gave you a little bit, stick a table in there, let us know what your hours were, and I think these will be great. So, questions at all, guys? Good, moving forward, good, okay. And then we'll get back into electronic waste on Thursday. That was what we're covering this week. But I thought it was really important this time in the semester, catch up on that error that I made on quiz 4, catch up on a really good discussion board, and then also get you pointed in the right direction for your final report. So thanks, and we'll see you Thursday. See you Thursday.